Hello, friends. Today I want to tell you about some interesting events taking place at the Royal Horticultural Society of Great Britain. You may know that this society calls for slugs to be considered friends. But it turns out that not everyone shares this opinion, including the king himself. Famous gardener Alan Titchmarsh shared interesting information. He said that the King of Great Britain, Charles, hates slugs and even declared a real war on them. Why? Because they devour his favorite plants. King Charles has a burning hatred for these slugs. Alan supports the king in this crusade expedition. They decided to fight against the decision of the Royal Horticultural Society, which calls for slugs to be considered friends and not pests. After all, slugs can actually cause inconvenience and harm plants. I also learned that Dr. Andy Salisbury, head of plant health at the RHS, said that avoiding the term pest helps to have more productive discussions and allows you to approach the problem from a broader perspective. Interesting, isn't it? But that's not all. King Charles, in addition to his passion for gardening, is also interested in ecology. He even made some amazing statements that initially seemed like a whim, but eventually turned out to be very meaningful. For example, his retro car runs on surplus English white wine and whey obtained in the process of making cheese. King Charles always surprises with his ecological ideas. And one more interesting detail about the king, he loves squirrels. He always leaves nuts for them in the pockets of his jacket. It's just adorable, isn't it? But unfortunately, an unpleasant event happened recently on the property of King Charles. Eco-activists attacked his farm and stole 3 lambs. It's a really sad story, and I hope nothing happens to the lambs. So here, friends, is some interesting information about King Charles, his attitude to slugs, his environmental aspirations, and the unfortunate incident with lambs. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so as not to miss new videos. Let's keep having fun and learn new things together. I also want to tell you about interesting news from the world of the British royal family. King Charles and Queen Camilla did not want to leave their cozy Clarence House mansion to move to Buckingham Palace, but it seems that this decision was still made. The move is scheduled for 2027, when the overhaul of Buckingham Palace will be completed and the apartments of the royal couple in the North Wing will be put in order. The royal family's website says the building's infrastructure needs urgent major repairs to prevent long-term damage to the building and its contents. Thus, it was decided to carry out a phased program of work over 10 years to ensure the suitability of the palace for use over the next 50 years. Interestingly, the renovation project costs an incredible £369 million, and it began during the lifetime of Queen Elizabeth II. Now it is supervised by the Queen's son, Charles, who ensures that the renovation meets the requirements of the future palace. He even turned off the heating in the house to help cut costs and emissions. Buckingham Palace is one of the most impressive royal palaces in the world. It has as many as 775 rooms. But despite this, experts of the royal family are sure that the king and queen will miss their cozy Clarence House mansion. This great I-listed building was home to Charles IE's grandmother, the Queen Mother, for 50 years. It is unclear whether Charles will keep Clarence House as a secondary place to live or let family members live there. By the way, in addition to Buckingham Palace and Clarence House, King Charles has many houses all over the country. One of them is the country house Highgrove House, where he likes to spend weekends and enjoy the beautiful garden. When Charles first moved to Highgrove, it was just an abandoned vegetable garden, a few hollow oaks and pastures. But thanks to his vigilant supervision, this place has been transformed beyond recognition and now receives about 37,000 visitors every year. The garden consists of various open rooms with stunning flower paths, garden figures, and trees. This is really interesting news from the world of the royal family. Charles and Camilla are moving to Buckingham Palace, but of course they will miss their cozy mansion, Clarence House, as well as the country house, Highgrove House, with its beautiful garden. What do you think about this decision? Write in the comments. I will be happy to hear your opinion. In addition, it recently became known that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex finally left their home in Frogmore Cottage, which was given to them by Queen Elizabethia after their wedding in 2018. This caused great consequences for Duke Harry, as the experts said. One of the most important roles that Harry has lost along with housing in Britain is his position as a state advisor if King Charles III is unable to fulfill his duties. This was made possible due to the lack of Harry's residence in the country. This is a really serious problem. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams stresses that losing a home in the UK without a replacement is a huge problem for Harry. Previously, he had the right to take this important role in the event of the incapacity of the king, but now, having no residence in the country, he missed this opportunity. Usually, state councillors consist of the four next in line to the throne members of the royal family over the age of 21 and the spouse of the monarch. Currently, they are Queen Camilla, Prince William, Prince Harry, Prince Andrew, and Princess Beatrice. However, last year brought changes, and King Charles proposed adding his siblings, Princess Anne and Prince Edward, to the list. Earlier it was reported that King Charles offered Meghan and Harry alternative housing in London, but there is no official confirmation of this information yet. Thanks for watching, friends. Stay tuned to keep up to date with the latest royal family news. See you soon!